Hello, this is David Farmhole, president of Candidate, and I'm doing video ad number 10. And this is about the national debt. They say it's $1 trillion. Well, I don't think we can be $1 trillion in debt because nobody had $1 trillion to borrow it from. Maybe you can take a penny to start out with, but if you borrow a penny, that's a negative number. That's like they say if you double a penny every day, you'd have $1 million at the end of the month, but you had to borrow this penny to start with. The Mayflower came over, they didn't have $1 million on it when it came over here, or $1 trillion. But if nobody has $1 trillion, you can't borrow $1 trillion to be $1 trillion in debt. But you may be able to, eventually build up $1 million from a penny, but you got to borrow this penny to start with, and if you borrow a penny, it's a negative number. So if you borrow a negative number, it's a negative number, so you're borrowing a negative number, so I don't know what that would mean. If you borrow a negative number, what does that mean? If you're borrowing a negative number, what does it mean if you're borrowing a negative number? Does that mean, what does that mean if the money you're borrowing is negative? Because what does it mean if I don't understand positive and negative, I guess, because if they don't have the money that you're borrowing, if they don't have that penny, and you borrow a penny, and they don't have it, that means the penny is negative. So then when you have it, and they don't have it, and you don't have it, and you can't pay back more than you borrow because you didn't have it and they didn't have it, and then when you go to pay it back, you got to pay back more than you borrow. And if you start out at zero, and you got to pay back more than you borrow, and meaning that you started out at zero, and you got if it's a 10% interest, and in 10 years you got to pay back 1, and you borrow 1 means I think you got to pay back 2, and you only borrow 1. How can you pay back 2? So then you pay back the 1 and you owe 1. So you still owe 1. So we're going back. We went backwards at the start, and it was negative. So anyways, we're $1 trillion in debt. How can you pay back $1 trillion when we didn't have $1 trillion to start with? But don't seem like good sense that the government wants people to pay back money when they can print it. They can print as much money as they want to. People can't print money. It's against the law for people to print money, and it's okay for the government to print money. But if I was president, I'm going to have a card where they will download money on the card. I don't know what we'll call it. You get the card. There'll probably I don't know what it'll look like. I don't know whether it'll have a thumbprint or it'll scan your face and recognize your face. But you get paid on the card. You won't carry money on you. You can go to the machine and get money out of the machine if you had to. They won't be making drug deals on the street because they won't be able to get much money. They won't be making big transactions in money because, chances are there won't be large circulations of money. They won't be passing this big money around for drug deals. But, anyways, I don't know about, like China, where, you have the workers in the car plants getting 360% of $300 an hour. The electricity be zipping down wires. It'll just come, so they'll be getting paid. They'll be building cars. We can send cars over to China and get our money, we'll send these cars over to China where they got paid 60% of $300 an hour. Our people, the cars will not cost any more than electricity going down wires. We can send the cars to China. They'll send our money back or our debt back or whatever you want to call it, where we suppose to owe them money, where somehow or the other they got our money and loaned us money or whatever they did, where they say we're in debt to China, and maybe we can pay the loan off or stuff like that, or we can take our cars and sell them to foreign countries, get their money, and we can go over to foreign countries, go on vacation with their money, or different things. But anyways, how can we be in debt when nobody had money to borrow it from? Thank you. Bye. 5 minutes and 6 minutes.